Imagine a world without the internet, where the closest thing to a notification is a rooster crowing at dawn. That's everyday life for the Amish, who live by tradition and hard work. Now you might think a life so rooted in simplicity would be, well, simple. But you'd be wrong. Some everyday Amish practices are technically illegal in certain parts of the country. We're not talking about jaywalking here, folks. So buckle up, because we're about to explore 6 everyday items that might just land the Amish on the wrong side of the law. First up, let's talk about those iconic black buggies, the Amish equivalent of a Ford F-150. These buggies are more than just a mode of transportation. They are a symbol of a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. The simplicity and functionality of these horse-drawn carriages reflect the Amish commitment to a lifestyle that prioritizes community, faith, and tradition over modern conveniences. Most folks see a buggy and think, well, that's just plain common-sense transportation. They might admire the craftsmanship or the quaintness of it all, but there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. These buggies are a testament to a community's resilience and dedication to their beliefs. But what they don't realize is that in many places, those buggies are supposed to be registered, just like your average minivan. This requirement is often met with surprise and confusion, not just by outsiders but by the Amish themselves, who see it as an unnecessary imposition. A good number of Amish communities refuse to register their buggies. For them, it's not just about avoiding a fee or skipping paperwork, it's a matter of principle. They believe that registering their buggies would be a step towards compromising their values and way of life. For them, it's about religious freedom and resisting government intrusion. The Amish have a long history of maintaining their autonomy and resisting external influences, and this issue is just another chapter in that ongoing story. This clash of cultures has led to heated legal battles, particularly in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. These states have significant Amish populations, and the legal system often finds itself in the difficult position of balancing state laws with the rights of religious communities. Local law enforcement is stuck between enforcing the law and respecting a community that values faith and tradition above all else. Officers often have to navigate these waters carefully, trying to maintain peace and order without alienating the Amish community. When you're talking about a group willing to give up modern conveniences for their beliefs, asking them to slap a government-issued piece of metal on their horse-drawn carriage is a big ask. It's not just about the metal plate, it's about what that plate represents, a concession to a world they strive to keep at arm's length. It's a slippery slope, my friends, and at the bottom, you'll find folks wondering if maybe we've lost sight of what really matters. The debate over buggy registration is a microcosm of larger questions about freedom, community, and the role of government in our lives. So, what's the solution? It's a tough one, folks. Finding a balance that respects the Amish way of life while ensuring public safety and adherence to state laws is no easy task. It requires empathy, understanding, and a willingness to find common ground. Now, let's mosey on over to the barn and talk about raw milk, the kind that comes straight from the cow, no pasteurization. This milk is as fresh as it gets, straight from the udder to your glass, without any of the industrial processes that most of us are used to. It's a practice that has been around for centuries, long before pasteurization was even a concept. For many Amish families, raw milk is more than just a beverage, it's a way of life. It's a tradition passed down through generations, a staple in their daily diet. They believe in the purity and natural benefits of consuming milk in its most unaltered form. They drink it, make cheese, and feed it to their livestock. The entire process is a closed-loop system that supports their self-sustaining lifestyle. From the cow to the kitchen, every step is handled with care and respect for the natural process. But selling raw milk is illegal in many states due to concerns about bacteria. The government argues that pasteurization is necessary to kill harmful pathogens and ensure public safety. This has led to a contentious debate between health officials and raw milk advocates. Proponents of raw milk argue that pasteurization kills off beneficial enzymes and probiotics. They claim that these natural components are essential for gut health and overall well-being. They believe that raw milk offers a richer, more complex flavor and a host of health benefits that pasteurized milk simply can't match. The Amish have been drinking raw milk for generations and seem to be doing just fine. They point to their robust health and long lifespans as evidence that raw milk is not only safe, but beneficial. For them, It's a testament to the wisdom of their ancestors and the value of natural living. The government, however, wants everyone to drink pasteurized, homogenized, government-approved milk. They argue that it's the only way to ensure that milk is safe for consumption on a large scale. This has led to strict regulations and enforcement actions against those who sell raw milk. For the Amish, it's about more than health. It's about freedom of choice and the right to consume what they believe is best. They see the government's stance as an infringement on their personal liberties and a threat to their way of life. It's a deeply personal issue that goes beyond the milk itself. In a world full of rules and regulations, that kind of independence is rare and precious. The Amish community values their autonomy and the ability to make decisions based on their own beliefs and traditions. It's a way of life that stands in stark contrast to the modern, regulated world. So, what's the answer? It's a debate that continues to rage on. Both sides have valid points and the discussion is far from over. Whether you side with the government or the raw milk advocates, one thing is clear. The choice of what milk to drink is more than just a dietary decision. It's a reflection of deeper values and beliefs. Now, let's step inside a one-room schoolhouse and talk about Amish education, a system as different from public school as a chalkboard is from an iPad. The Amish community places a high value on simplicity and tradition, and this is clearly reflected in their educational practices. Their schools are often small, one-room buildings that serve multiple grade levels, creating a close-knit learning environment. The Amish believe in keeping things local, educating their children within the community. This approach not only fosters a strong sense of community but also ensures that the values and skills important to the Amish way of life are passed down through generations. Instead of sending kids off to a bustling school bus, they educate them in small, one-room schoolhouses with a practical and spiritual curriculum. These schools are often staffed by young, unmarried women from the community who have themselves been educated in the same system. The Amish focus on the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic, and religious instruction. Their curriculum is designed to prepare children for a life within the Amish community, emphasizing practical skills and moral values over academic achievement. But the Amish approach to education doesn't always align with state-mandated curriculum standards. While public schools are required to follow a standardized curriculum, Amish schools have more flexibility to tailor their lessons to the needs of their community. This clash has led to legal battles, with the government arguing that all children deserve a proper education. The most notable of these battles culminated in a landmark Supreme Court case in 1972. In 1972, the Supreme Court sided with the Amish, allowing them to educate their children according to their beliefs. This decision recognized the importance of religious freedom and the right of parents to direct the upbringing and education of their children. Amish schools still have to meet basic requirements like fire codes, but they have more leeway in their curriculum. This means they can focus on teaching practical skills that are directly applicable to their way of life, such as farming, carpentry, and homemaking. Maybe there's something to be said for an education that focuses on practical skills and values. In a world that's increasingly digital and disconnected, the Amish approach to education offers a refreshing perspective on the importance of community, simplicity, and hands-on learning. It reminds us that education is not just about preparing for a career but also about preparing for life. Alright folks, get ready for a shocker. The Amish are embracing solar power. Those black buggies might be horse-drawn, but their barns are starting to sport solar panels. The Amish aren't interested in plugging into the grid. They're all about self-sufficiency and harnessing the power of nature. But installing a solar power system isn't as simple as slapping a few panels on your roof. There are rules, building codes, permits, and inspections. The Amish often install their solar systems quietly without bothering with permits and inspections. The government sees unpermitted solar systems as potential safety hazards, but the Amish have been building things with their own hands for generations and take pride in their craftsmanship. How do you balance the Amish desire for religious freedom and self-sufficiency with the government's responsibility to ensure public safety? It's a tough one, folks, and this issue isn't going away anytime soon. Now let's talk about Amish construction, where power tools are replaced by hand tools and blueprints are sketched in the dirt. The Amish craft their buildings with care, precision, and a deep respect for materials and traditions. But their approach doesn't always align with modern building codes. The Amish understand the spirit of the law, ensuring their buildings are structurally sound and safe. They use traditional techniques and time-tested methods passed down through generations. The government, however, wants to see permits and inspections to ensure safety. How do you reconcile these two viewpoints? It's a delicate balancing act, requiring understanding and compromise. Finally, let's venture into the world of Amish herbalism, where plants are medicine and tradition trumps trendy pharmaceuticals. The Amish have a deep connection to nature and use herbs to treat everything from the common cold to serious ailments. But the world of herbal remedies isn't regulated like the pharmaceutical industry. Homemade Amish remedies are often passed down through families, with recipes scribbled on scraps of paper. The government worries about safety and dosage, but the Amish have been using these remedies for generations. How do you balance the Amish right to choose their treatments with the government's duty to protect public health? It's a classic case of individual liberty versus collective safety, a debate that continues to this day. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the fascinating and often contradictory world of the Amish and their unique relationship with the law. The Amish way of life might seem like a relic of the past, but it's a powerful reminder that there are other ways of living and defining progress. Should the Amish be allowed to continue their way of life, even if it means bending the rules a bit, or should they be held to the same standards as everyone else? It's a question that challenges us to think about what really matters in life.